The European Union is hosting its third Indo-Pacific Forum in Brussels starting today, with more than 70 foreign ministers expected to participate, but not delegates from either the United States or from China. They are expected to discuss security cooperation, trade, as well as climate change, among other issues. And on top of that, EU ministers are also set to hold talks with their ASEAN counterparts later in what would be their highest profile meeting since 2022. For more, Alex Kadia joins us. He's live for us from Brussels. Alex, both superpowers notably absent from talks. I mean, I don't think China's ever actually been invited, but it does infer Indo-Pacific countries might not be pressured into choosing sides. Maybe that's the goal. What can we read, though, into the EU strategy here?
Well, the EU strategy is clearly to have a direct relationship with those Indo-Pacific countries, not one defined by their relationship with China and not one defined by their relationship with the United States, which has previously attended these forums, but actually in this case has not been invited. Actually, some of the EU member states, those European countries, specifically asked for the United States not to be invited. China, as you mentioned quite rightly, had never been invited, and it's to promote a slightly more multipolar approach to the region, building those relationships directly, more bilateral relationships, both between the European Union itself and those Indo-Pacific countries and EU member states and Indo-Pacific countries directly. So it's certainly to avoid those spheres of influence and to avoid Indo-Pacific countries represented here to feel stuck between a rock and a hard place when they're defining their relationship with the EU. So it is seen as a diplomatic move by the EU to enhance that direct relationship with the region, a region which EU officials have said behind the scenes has become a theatre of displays of force and increasing tensions, and therefore really highlighting the importance of the kind of high-level meetings we're seeing in Brussels here today.
And Alex, part of those high-level meetings, the bloc is expected to meet with ASEAN diplomats as well later today. What can we expect from those talks?
Well, EU officials were really clear that actually this is a very crucial meeting for them because both the European Union and ASEAN are world leaders in regional integration. They are, EU officials say, the two most successful multilateral regional groups and actually can work together and have an understanding of how these organizations and these unions can work side by side on key issues. Those key issues mentioned by EU officials are, of course, climate change, which will be a priority not just for the two groups, but also a global priority, but also security, crucially security, with China's growing influence in the region. That is an issue that EU officials are very keen to work on with their ASEAN partners. They will continue to work towards the EU's 10 billion euro commitment for investment in the region. That is something that was central to some of the discussions, but certainly the opportunity to have these meetings, the opportunity to have these high-level conversations is something that EU officials, EU member states will certainly welcome being able to exchange with their ASEAN partners today.
Alex, thank you for that update. Alex Kadia there in Brussels.